Welcome, everyone. My name is Andrei Sochala, and I do lead the sales team here at Aircall. And for those of you who don't know Aircall yet, maybe we are the leading cloud-based phone system out there if you expect your phone system to be natively integrated with the CRM you're using. So last time I spoke to this sales confidence community event was nearly a year and a half years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And since then, the Aircall sales team has more than doubled in size to close than 100, I think a bit more than 100 reps today. So we've been quite busy. But a year and a half ago was also the start of a project which, if I'm completely honest with you, I did not expect would take such importance across the company. And this is the change of our sales compensation plan. So changing a sales comp plan can be a side project for someone in sales ops, along with a bit of sales leadership guidance here, or it can become something bigger and much more strategic for the company. And it's the latter that I want to be talking about today. So we basically wanted our CFO, our Chief People Officer, our COO, and our CEO to be our partners in building this plan. So we were ready to trade off time. It took nearly a year to roll it out in order to get it right. Unfortunately, I won't have time to go into details of the exact comp plan during this talk, but I wanted to run through some of the key learnings over the last year of the project. So when talking with our CFO, we reviewed all the metrics that could be measured internally, and we scored them against the key priorities of our current investors and potential future investors. Being a full SaaS company, we did, of course, talk about MRR, about contract commitment, what's better between monthly, 12 months, 2 years, what is being done across the other companies, payment frequency, should we go annual upfront as much as possible, quarterly payments is good, what about monthly, and maybe also consider gross margin, for instance. We often forget about this one here in sales. We really had to ask basically ourselves, what's the real value for the company of each pound of revenue signed in those specific terms? We wanted to make the sales reps focus on what matters the most for the company. So lesson number 1, use your sales comp plan to consolidate your company's financial metrics by having the reps focus on the right things. Then, when talking with our chief people officer, we wanted to guarantee that Aircall was in a great position to attract and retain the best talents out there. So that means having the right OTEs in place. And this is a difficult one here, as it's so easy to fall into what I would call kind of like the OTE quota size arms race. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here. There are a couple of benchmarks out there, but how much can you really trust them? So we decided to leverage our VC investors and have them run a survey in their own portfolio companies to get a better feel of the market. No need to lie at this point. To be aligned with the recruitment strategy that we had agreed on, we took the decision to pay slightly over the market, but to make sure we weren't paying the most in order to have candidates who don't only pick us for the money. So lesson number 2, use your sales comp plan to attract and retain the best talents out there. Then, when talking to our COO and our CEO, who are both basically the founders of the company, we wanted something bold and ambitious. This has always been part of the company DNA and the culture. So of course, we discussed accelerators, we discussed uncapped quota, we discussed spiffs, challenges, but also we wanted the sales comp plan to be aligned with the international expansion plans for 2021. At the stage we are in right now, this is a hot topic for us in this year. So the sales comp plan had to be adaptable to each market we will be focusing on and allow the scrappiness needed at the beginning in some new markets. We had to review the split between base and variable to take into account what fits in the local labor market. So lesson number 3, use your sales comp plan to motivate above and beyond and make it adaptable for international expansion plans. Throughout the whole process, and there was many back and forth, we wanted to make this project as playful as possible. So what really helped is to keep the interest, was to have simulators or models, basically a Google Sheet, where you could have the key stakeholders play on the different version of the model as we were moving along the project and getting to the final version. Now, within those 7 minutes, I only had time to share with you the behind the scenes discussions of this new sales comp plan project. But if you are interested in actually seeing it in details, the actual structure we went for, the numbers, the region differences, we thought we would give back to the sales communities across Europe by sharing all of it during 30 to 60 minute sessions. And that's our founder and COO, who was a huge advocate for the project, who will start a European roadshow basically in April to present our new comp plan in details. As I said,